Spontaneous English speaking, the secret to spontaneous English speaking lies in all the 6 solutions that I have told you today in this video. The 6 interconnected solutions that are going to make you fluent and spontaneous. You know guys, when somebody randomly speaks to you in English, and you should be able to speak with equal fluency, and that is what? Hi everyone, my name is Shalima and welcome back to my another session of learning English and improving your English speaking skills with me. So guys, today I'm going to be address an awesome lesson where I'm going to take a problem of yours during English speaking, that is common problems. And I just talked to many people and the people agreed that they are facing this problem so much, and this is the problem of speaking English spontaneously. You are not being able to speak English spontaneously randomly when a situation arises where you are required to speak in English. It's like what to say. You are fluent in English when there are situations where you are speaking prepared sentences or the stuff is already prepared. For example guys, you might be giving a presentation, something like that. That is okay, but randomly when you have to speak at a particular situation with somebody, at that time you face this problem with spontaneously speaking in English. So guys, here I'm going to give you the complete solution to this problem. So are you guys ready for this? If you are ready and if you are facing this problem, then definitely you comment down and tell me that you are facing this problem, right? So here, before beginning, please subscribe to the channel so that you can get all the lessons on the channel, and please like the video and share that with your friends too, with your loved ones and the person who need this, alright? So coming back to today's lesson, the secret to speak English with spontaneity and how to bring that spontaneity while speaking English, spontaneously speaking English, right? So this spontaneous English speaking skill that we need to develop. And what is spontaneous speaking? What happened guys when you are speaking spontaneous? For example, I am speaking right now and this is a form of spontaneous speaking. That is, I'm not preparing any sentences in my mind and I'm not thinking about the stuff that I want to say, what I need to say next, or that in term of language, in term of speaking, I'm not preparing anything in my mind. It's coming from within, alright? And that is coming continuously when you want to, or when you do not want to say anything, when you have to take the pause. Your thoughts, that is known as spontaneous. And I'm not saying that you don't have to take pause at all. We will come and we will discuss the solution, okay? That you are not taking a long pause, that is causing a delay in your thinking process and your speaking process, the lag. So the lag is not there when you are not spontaneous. There is a lag between these two processes, the thinking and then speaking. And there is something going on yourself are too conscious. You are very conscious about what you want to speak. So that is the lack of spontaneity. That when this random situation arises, you have to prepare, you have to think about what you are going to say. For example, if somebody asks you that what are your plans for this weekend, and for that you have to think about it for a few seconds, and you have to you become so much conscious about what to say in English. And this is a random situation, and in this random situation, if you find yourself tongue tied, that means it's an idiom to say that you don't know what to say. It's like you are in a zone where you are completely freezed and you are not able to think what to say, what to speak, how to start that particular sentence, and how to start what you want to say. That intention points, you are not getting it, and that is something which is causing the lack of spontaneity, and that is the complete hindrance in your spontaneity, right? So whatever you are speaking, so this is very important to bring spontaneity into speaking. If you want to speak English fluently, It's part of that fluent English speaking so far. And that I have total 6 solutions for you, and we are going to discuss each and every solution, and this is a kind of complete action plan what you need to do in order to speak spontaneously in English. And when you speak spontaneously, you do not spend too much time jotting down your thoughts. You do not translate, you do not think about the grammar structure, you do not search for words. It comes from within without any time lapse. It's coming. So this is what we have to achieve, and how to speak it continuously with a flow without giving my with it within kind of any kind of second thought to what you want to say. So this is what you want to achieve, spontaneity, and I have the solutions that. So let's begin, guys, with all the 6 solutions. So let's talk about the solution number 1. The solution number 1 is something that is very important, guys, is to train your subconscious mind. Training our subconscious mind is very important, and this is the solution number 1. Guys, the big base of starting to speak with spontaneity, because subconscious mind plays a very big role. All right, it's our subconscious mind that stores a lot of information and that tries a lot of information for us. Our subconscious mind is habitual of native language. Whatever is your native language, your subconscious mind is completely habitual to that particular language. Now we have to make our subconscious mind habitual to English language, so that when a situation arises for us to speak in English, we do not feel uncomfortable, we don't panic, we don't take the situation that is this is going to go, and we don't know what would happen. This kind of reaction doesn't come to our mind. For that, we have to train our subconscious mind, and it is the subconscious mind that is doing all the thinking, the thought process, whatever information you are taking in, whatever you are saying, everything is going on there. All right, and you do not realize that. So now whatever I'm saying is going into your subconscious mind, and it's resonating there. That means there is a voice in your subconscious mind which is repeating everything, and it's getting stored there, and somehow it's going to stay there for a lot of time. And if you do not come to it again, if you don't pay attention to what I'm saying, then you might lose it. And if you don't apply the solutions, then you might lose it. But right now, whatever I'm telling you, guys, it's going to be there. So that is what we have to do. We have to make our subconscious mind habitual of English. We have to train our mind in the similar manner. It's trained to be comfortable with your native language. You have to do that. You have to train your subconscious mind. So there are a lot of ways through which you can do that. Okay, so the number 1 is through listening. When you listen, you store information in your subconscious mind. It's like you creating an inner environment of English language. So there is an external environment where you keep books, you do this, you do that, to create an external environment of English right now. Okay, so now what you have to do is you have to create an internal environment of English, so that your subconscious mind is trained enough to accept English language and to be prepared to come up with any answer, anything, any sentence, the thought, the words, whenever the time is required for you to speak in English. For that, you have to listen to a lot of English stuff. You have to listen to English, I just said the good content of English, good model of English, good phrases. So please pay attention, guys, to this thing, that whatever you listen to, that you should be really good source of English. Okay, accurate English and fluent English. So always select a source that is accurate, fluent, and then listen to good source of English. It can be anything. It can be related to your interest. It can be related to education, entertainment, lifestyle, health, and vlogs. Whatever you want, you need to listen to something in English. Well, YouTube is the biggest platform to give you so much content in English, and that I recommended to you. A lot of movies, a lot of religious things on YouTube channel. So lot of listening resources to watch good English, okay, in English is also important, as you know, because again you are creating an internal environment for yourself, English environment here. You are giving context to your subconscious mind by watching things in English, because your sense of visualization, your vision, that is visualizing, your hearing sense, auditory senses, everything is involved in this process of taking up the information, input of information. So this is important. Taking up that good English is important, and this is how you are going to train your subconscious mind to become comfortable in English. Now let's move on to the solution number 2. All right, so the solution number 2 is extremely important, that is bringing clarity to your thoughts. Bringing clarity to your thoughts. Whatever we are speaking, that's our thoughts. We are thinking in a particular language, for say, right, our thoughts are something that we channelize through our speaking. So it's all about our thoughts, how clear our thoughts are in a particular language. Whatever we are thinking, is it clear enough? Bringing clarity to that thought process is important. If you are yourself conscious, you have doubts and you don't have clarity to those thoughts, and what you want to say exactly, that is going to become a hindrance in your spontaneity. You need to be sure about the choice of words, and whatever you want to say, bringing that clarity into your thought process is important. For example, getting confused between two words, getting confused between grammar structures, that is something that is hindering your clarity. You are not clear with the thoughts. Why? Because what you want to say, it's getting lost somewhere, because with that first sentence, with that first thought, that is coming to your mind, and you are so confused whether should I put this word, whether should I put this, that, so that I'm going to say in this correct manner or not. Whatever you want to say after that particular thing, it's nowhere in your mind now, because you are so much confused. That is the loss of clarity of your experiencing, a loss of clarity. So you need to bring that clarity into your thought. And how to do it, how to bring clarity to your thoughts, because again, whatever you are saying and whatever you are thinking, this is something that happening not in milliseconds. You cannot even measure how quickly everything is happening. You are thinking about something that, and you are just speaking. You don't even realize what you are thinking if you are comfortable enough in a language, and this is what happens in your native language, right? So why you are so spontaneous? Because you do not have to search for everything. No, you do not think about it so much. No, it's here, what to say. If someone is asking you how are you in your native language, you know exactly what you need to say. If someone is cracking a joke, you know exactly what you want to say, right? But in English, you experience a problem, a setback, that you are not spontaneous enough, and what you want to say, you have spoken something, then there is a lag, okay? Because you are searching for more thoughts and then you are speaking. So that lag is something that we have to reduce for that, right? We have to bring clarity to our thoughts. Again, this is a kind of advanced step in training the subconscious mind, kind of very advanced step of training our subconscious mind, how to do that. So for that I have a really great technique, that is subvocalization. For example, this is happening with you right now. Whatever I'm speaking, it's there in your mind, it's resonating. It's like whatever I'm speaking, you are thinking about it and it's getting stored, and that is a part of subvocalization. So this is a part of thought process. All right, so now subvocalization is also a type of reading. It's reading technique, because basically in subvocalization what happen, in whenever you are reading something, everything that you read, you can hear each and every word in your mind clearly, and it's like you are reading out loud, not in the real sense in your mind. So what to do? We do in read aloud. All right, we pick up a book and we start reading it out loud. But subvocalization is that you are reading a book, but you are vocalizing it in your subconscious mind. That means you are kind of training in your subconscious mind. Now can you see all the links together, step 1, step 2, everything that we are doing. Yes, everything is interconnected. All the solutions are somewhere interconnected to each other. So that is why it's very important to take up all these solutions. They are going to give you the best possible solutions and the best result for this particular problem. So guys, when you subvocalize, you can listen to your own words in your own voice. Try it once and you will be able to do it in just pick up a book and start reading it, and you will be able to hear the words in your mind, in your brain. So doing it in a controlled manner, in a limited manner, can help you train your subconscious mind. When you do it repeatedly, you are feeding thoughts in your mind in English. Whatever you are reading, you are vocalizing it in English. That means the thought process that we are taking about, that should be in English to bring spontaneity. That is happening, and that thought process is in English now, because you can hear each and every word in your mind, and that is subvocalization, speaking everything out loud as if you are speaking. That is hearing your voice in your mind as you read. For example, guys, for example, somebody is reading a book and there is a sentence, she is standing on the balcony, staring at the stars. So she is standing on the balcony staring at the stars. So you are maybe reading a poem, you are reading a novel, something, there is this particular sentence, you would read it silently, but in your mind you will hear it, and it as if you are speaking it out loud with the same intonation, everything kind of, yeah, she's standing on the balcony staring at the stars, that kind of quality you will have. So this is the vocalization, and if you do it, this will help you train your mind, and this will bring clarity to your thoughts. Why? Because now when you are reading lots and lots of sentences structures, and those sentences structures are kind of resonating in your mind, and you are feeding those sentences structures, the words, the collocations, the proper sentence, how to form it, how to make it in your subconscious mind. And when the time is required, your subconscious mind will retrieve it, and because you have vocalized, subvocalization, because you vocalized it in your mind, and what will happen is your mind is kind of now trained to speak, and you will gain confidence to speak it, right? So this is the technique to bring clarity to your thoughts and train your subconscious mind. And now I am going to share the solution number 3. So the solution number 3 is, there is to think in English, because we talking about mind, thoughts, subconscious mind, clarity of thoughts. Obviously thinking in English is very important. Step to speak English spontaneously. You want to become spontaneous while speaking English, you need to think in English. Now I have told you again, guys, thinking in English is what? Thinking in English is to be able to speak in English without thinking about your native language, without translating. So if your thoughts are in your native language, for example, you are looking at something and but the adjective coming to your mind about that particular thing, that means if you want to describe that thing, adjectives are used to describe, right? All right, if used to describe, right? If you want to describe it and the word form, your native language is coming to your mind, that is something we have to stop, because that is a hindrance in a process of spontaneity. You should be able to think in English, and that is if looking at an object, you must describe it in English. You should be able to switch your thoughts from native language to English language. Now, whenever is your native language, be it French, Italian, Spanish, Tamil, whatever is your native language, right? Whatever kind of native language you have, your thought must be switched to English instantly, because now you have to speak in English, and this should be something that you should not do deliberately. It should be like, oh, okay, she is asking me something in English and I have to reply it in English. That is the process of thinking in English. That means you are able to retrieve your thoughts, everything, words that you know, the information that you know in English on the click of your fingers, just like that, within a second. So you need to do that. This is thinking in English. So that is something that you have to again practice. With practice, and you will be able to think in English. That means you will be able to bring spontaneity to your thought process. That will happen, but for you, that you have to again practice. All right, for that practice, thinking in English, I have already given you so many techniques, guys, so many techniques, ample of techniques and practice lessons on thinking in English. Now you have those lessons, you need to practice, because this is something that you would develop as a skill, and it's kind of a habit also, that you are developing a habit that you have to give to your subconscious mind, that now English must be your habit. All right, and you have to tell your subconscious mind, and that is what we are doing with thinking in English. Whatever we are speaking, the thought process, everything is in English. There are no mix up of two languages, no native, no English, no partition, nothing. If you are thinking in your native language, then that's it. But if you are speaking in English, it should be all in English. You should not switch your words to English to your native language. All right, so which we are addressing thinking in English, that translating thought from native English, and that if you are thinking about something in native, for example, you have to give an answer for something, and that's there in your thought in your native language, and it's well versed because you know what to say. Now you are trying to translate it, and if you are trying to find the same word, similar word, this kind of process we need to eliminate if we want to bring spontaneous to our speaking process. So that is why thinking in English is very important. Now guys, let's talk about the solution number 4. Well, solution number 4 is focus on flow instead of flaw. Okay, flow is the flow in which you speak, right? The flow of the words. Flaw means mistakes. So your focus must be on flow of the words, not the mistakes, that you might make proper sentence structure, proper, that this is that whether I'm speaking in the correct manner or not. If you are somewhere in the middle of your English learning journey, you are bound to make some mistakes, right? The thing is that, are you learning from those mistakes? If you are learning from those mistakes, that's totally fine. That's totally fine, guys. That's a part of your learning process and you have to accept it. But if you are totally focused on the mistakes you are making, you will be you will never be able to focus on the flow of the words, fluency, about the flow of the words, the flow in which you are speaking, right? Now when I am speaking, there is a flow in the words. As you can listen to it, the sentence, everything, there are coming out with a flow. That is the flow of words. Any fluent person will have a great flow of words. They speak with a flow. And guys, what is fluency, the flow? It just like water, it just like flows effortlessly. That is how you should speak English, with the particular flow. And flow means effortless speaking. And if you have that particular flow, spontaneity will automatically come to your, okay? And if you are spontaneous enough, you are fluent. That means you have a particular flow of speaking, and that is what I am trying to say. And that you have to maintain the flow of speaking. Your flow should not be break. So that particular flow is what you need to focus on. That if you are speaking, hold on to the thought instead of the mistakes. Alright, the grammar structure, this and that, and this is something that you do at the back, that is the backstage right now. And now this is the time for performance. Okay, the curtains are not open, drawn yet, and you are at the stage and you have to perform, consider it. And this way, when somebody is going for performance, things are happening backstage. Audience does not know backstage. The audience does not know about what is happening backstage, and they just look at the performance. So when you speak, that flow is your performance. The way you are speaking is that now at the backstage. You would consider your grammar, your vocabulary, everything, all that you are doing, that the part of your learning process. And when you are trying to learn a grammar concept at that time, you are trying to form, structures in your mind related to a particular grammar structure and this and that particular grammar concept. That's totally fine, guys, to think about that concept at that particular time. You are practicing, but this is the real time, and this is the time of performance. Now all the rehearsals have been done, and this is the time you have to speak with the flow. So please focus on the flow of the words, the way you are speaking. That's the key. So now let's talk about the solution number 5. Well, the next solution on the list is use small sentence structures. So when you are speaking in English, try using small sentences structures. Do not use complex sentences structures, or do not do something like you are speaking and speaking and speaking and you are not ending that particular sentence. And this is a common problem when you are trying to translate things in your mind. You don't realize you do not end the particular sentence, and you keep on speaking and create a very long sentence with a lots of thoughts and informations jumbled up into one sentence. And this happens, you would not realize it, but this happens with a lot of people, and that is something we have to eliminate. What you have to do is you have to use small sentences structures. Use small sentences. Guys, pay attention towards ending something you have said, something, end it small sentences, and will allow you to speak fluently and spontaneously, because there is this short sentence, you have spoken it. Now you can begin with something else, and you do not have the stretch it out and then think about what to add, what to do, and what to do this. And then no, and grammar structure is also like easy to maintain with a small sentences. So that structure that you are looking for, that I want to also speak accurate English, what I am doing should be accurate. So if you want to do that, you need to use small sentences structures. That means do not use just 2 words, three word sentences, no use proper sentences. But again, like what you have said before, you have to end the sentence, you have given a particular information, and that sentence begin the new sentence for the time information. Do not keep on adding informations after information using conjunctions and so and, because this is what a lot of people do, and I have seen that this will happen with you. It's okay, this is not your fault, guys. It's okay, this is not your fault. This is happening. Why? Because the subconscious mind is pausing. You have to just get out all that thoughts at the single time, and so that you just do not switch to your native language. Okay, so nothing is wrong, it's not your fault. What you have to do is you have to manage that cope up mechanism using small sentences structures. So do not use a lot. What to say next, what to do, use small sentences and set structures, and it will keep your thoughts clear, and that was the solution. Alright, so let's talk about the solution number 6. So the solution number 6 is for today is again very important, that is take meaningful pauses. Take meaningful pause when you are speaking. Taking pause in between is important. Now I am not talking about very long pause. Where you are thinking about something, we are trying to think about your thoughts, everything you are preparing, all the sentences. No, just milliseconds of pause in between. You cannot just speak and speak and speak continuously. Speak continuously. A lot of time this happens when you are kind of nervous to speak. You are anxious to speak everything in English. You are anxious not to translate. When these things are happening, you will not realize. You will speak continuously like in a single breath, and you want to say everything out. This happen again, a kind of coping mechanism, so that you do not go back to your native language, or you do not translate, or you want to get everything out in English. You want to speak in English as much as possible, and all these thoughts are making you anxious as a coping mechanism. Example, I am speaking right now. As you listen to me, you would realize that I am also taking mini pauses, right? Like a kind of millisecond pauses in between. That is what you are supposed to do. Take those pauses to bring spontaneity, because this is going to give a pause to your thought process, and that spontaneity you are looking for, because that particular pause gives you confidence, it gives you clarity of thoughts, and it's also stabilizes your thinking process. All these anxious thoughts that are coming to your mind, they would stop. You can use these pauses in a very positive manner, so that pause looks really nice, it sounds really great. And when you take those millisecond pauses in between, right, so take a pause, meaningful pause. All right, so guys, I think you got all these points whatever I have shared in this video, and that is, I hope this will helps you a lot, all right, to speak spontaneous in English. So that's it for today's video, guys. If you like the video, please give thumbs up and let me know in the comment section that you got everything and you are just trying to apply in yourself. All right, so give thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe my channel. Thanks for watching. Bye bye, take care.